season, especially with crafting. So for today, we're gonna discuss how that would affect like the stuff that we would do for like the first week or two um for this season. So the season is for 30 days, if I'm not mistaken. So there's like 24 days more. I think it's like 27 days, I think. So it's for a month. So it's gonna be like crucial like 4 weeks for us. So all right, what happened from like alpha season to this season is the inclusion of SLP in terms of like crafting. So as you can see, this is level 1 crafting. So this one unlocks at level 2, 3, and I think this unlocks at level 5. So this unlocks at level 7. This 3, I think. So there's like a requirement for them to be unlocked. So before you do unlock them, you need to craft like multiple times of this. And it like stuff would change when the SLP is already there. Because a lot of like I mean not a lot, like there's other like people who might take advantage of this and use less shards and more SLP to increase their crafting level to like level 10. So if you guys don't know, there's like an A and B for this. So basic is like the one with no SLP, right? And there's gonna be basic A and then basic B, meaning like the B like requires more SLP while the Ronin A requires less SLP but higher shards. So for those of you who don't have much SLP, you can stick with the one that doesn't require it, or if you just want like a bit of like SLP being used, you can offer the A because it also changes in terms of the percentage. Once you actually use SLP, there's no chance of you getting commons anymore, which is really nice. So as you can see it here, and then it's gonna differ again once you increase the level of the crafting until you reach the level 10 where you have the chance of getting like mystic. So the reason why everyone is trying to reach level 10 like fast, at least for me, as you can see, I'm almost like level 10. I just need like 6,000 shards to be crafted to reach this. Because there's a chance that I get mystic without even using any of these. So this would be like very important because you can't like buy this anymore. As far as I know, it's only for like bonuses and adventure, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, for those of you who doesn't have any like SLP to spend, it's not like a problem, because you can still like craft without SLP, right? The pace of your crafting would just be like very different for those that has like SLP in their pockets. And if you guys don't know, so I'm gonna show you something because there's a difference between the SLP, the NFT runes and charms and not. So if you can see here, these are the free stuff. So if you guys don't know, when the season starts, you guys have like free stuff, free runes and charms from the game, and make sure you don't disenchant them. So as you can see, that's a difference. These are the ones that is called like NFT, the one with blue collar or like something behind it, as you can see, right? So before this one gets traded in the marketplace, you need to wait for like 7 days from the point that it's actually like crafted. So for example, like I got this in the first day. It's gonna be available in the market, or I can like sell it in the market after like 4 days. So that's why like there's like different approach on how you can like do this, right? So for me at least, since I'm like let's say a very competitive like player as well, I do spend like 10,000 SLP per day to actually craft this stuff because I want to be ahead. And when the first day of like people selling stuff is like available, I'm trying to like just sell some of it as well. So like try to what do you call like return of investment stuff. Like I'm just gonna try to make money out of it as well, and then see if I can buy something else. so that I could buy the stuff that I want. So my goal is just to reach like level 10 quickly so that I have a chance of like getting mythics, because the difference between alpha season and this season is that for the first week, mystics would be very very hard to get, because people has to reach like level 10 first before they get like a chance of getting like mystic, unless they use the intermediate one and use something else like this stuff that increases their chance of getting like mystics as well. So if you actually see someone with mystic, that means those people are just like very very lucky to get it. And I would assume that the price of mystics from the second week to the third week would be very very like expensive, at least especially the second week. So all right, just to share to you how I see the stuff. This is like not like a financial advice or anything. If you actually lay out the 4 weeks of the season, so the first week, since no one can like buy the stuff, the runes and charms, the first week is like dead market, right? So it means that everyone who has more like SLP or shards or like very lucky would take into advantage of like um the first week, like in terms of like people like climbing fast here. These people would take advantage of the first week because they could get like challenger fast and get more shards compared to the others. And then on the second week, the the game, like in terms of the market would differ again, because everyone can start buying and selling NFT runes and charms. So there might be people who's actually gonna be selling their like crafted runes and charms to make profit from the game. So for you, you just have to figure out like where are you there? Like, are you those type of people that would just play the game and like let's say try to reach for the leaderboards by just like playing it all along? Like hopefully you get something good, get like good runes or charms until the fourth week. So in the second week, I would assume that there's gonna be a lot of like people trying to profit and try to buy as well. And on the third week, I think the third week would be the peak of people buying. I mean, like buying, because if you remember, there's only gonna be like 7 days before you can like buy something. So when the fourth week enters, people wouldn't craft anymore, like in terms of NFT runes and charms. Like the chances of people like crafting using SLP in the fourth week would be very very low, because when the season ends, the NFT runes and charms cannot be played anymore, and like even on the next season. So that's like a dead rune and charm. So when you guys are trying to like consider of like buying NFT runes and charms, you have to consider that it's only for the certain like season, and it might not be good in terms of your like investment if you're not really like let's say aiming to get a return from it in terms of achieving like AXS, because that's the only way to for you to like get something out of it, unless you like sell it at some point. So yeah, if you're actually like aiming to get like 1.7 AXS here or like 8.6 AXS, maybe the amount of stuff that you would spend on like buying those runes and charms would be like equal to this. Depends on like how far you want to like grind or like place. But it's fine if you're someone just like playing it for like casually, like you don't have to spend anything. You just want to play, and you don't mind about like the like SLP burning and stuff. You can actually like just earn SLP here, and like it's just like another like V2. But the difference with V2 and Origins is that there's more like chances for people to actually, let's say, earn and at the same time enjoy the game, because you're not like required to burn those SLP um for the season. The only difference is that for for Origins, the only time that you can take out SLP, as far as I know, is at the end of the season, because the devs are like still testing if there's gonna be like bugs, like there's gonna be exploit on like how do I say it, like exploit on like SLP, so they need to contain it for the certain season, just to make sure that it wouldn't happen. So yeah, it really depends on your goal for the current like season. That's the way that I approach it. I just aim for like level 10 right now and see the market that would happen for the second week. So if you guys would be like starting, is there a black screen?
Okay, good.
All right. So
Black
if
again.
wait, black again.
It goes black after you click.
All right,
There, you're good. You're good.
it might be black again. All right. Yeah, for those of you who are just starting like now, I would suggest you guys just play the game first. Like just play it normally. If you get like shards to craft, and maybe do not use like SLP yet, because in 3 days, the marketplace would be open for people who played in day one. So people would just try to sell stuff. And if you really want to compete, you're not like behind, in my
Black
opinion.
screen DC.
All right. Don't know what's happening. Is it still back now?
It went black again.
Oh shit.
There, you're good.
Anyway, so yeah, if you guys are just like starting like today, feel no pressure in like using SLP to craft. Just do the normal stuff. And if you really want to spend, the suggestion that I would do, like instead of like crafting using SLP, wait and see how the market actually works in 4 days, when people start selling their like used or like crafted runes and charms from day one. So yeah, and then decide what you actually want to do by that point. And yeah, so that's the only change that I think is like very important for the current season. And yeah, as I said, make sure that you plan everything by week, because the timing per week is very important if you really want to like compete or anything with V3. It's different from V2, because V2 is just like playing all along and wait for the meta to change. In V3, the market is a factor for you to compete, and of course it's also like a factor if you're lucky, or like there's like a support from someone or yourself in terms of how much like you can spend as well. And yeah, there's gonna be like a metas as well in terms of V3 leaderboards. So let's talk about that. And I'm gonna tell you the three, I would say like three or four like current meta right now in the leaderboards at least, and how like people are playing it. So the most like used comps right now that I would say is probably the poison comp, because it's like pretty easy to play. And then the one that I said before, the double taunt comp that I suggested for you to try. Let me show you again. This is the one that I said I think last week or like last week. So something like this with like double taunt. It's still pretty nice right now. If you guys saw the nerfs and the buffs before the season started, people are saying that the carrot is already like dead. I wouldn't say so. Like as long as you know how to play it, it's not like a nerfed card. So for those of you who actually has like carrot plants, it's still like very like good in my opinion. So yeah, still very good. Do not be disappointed that it looked like Sky Mavis like nerfed it. You just have to be smart about it. So yeah, this is good. Like I think for some people who was actually like running their scholarships as well, this type of comp is like very nice. Same with like birds. So basically one of the like easiest comps that you can still play up to this point is just getting like double taunts on your comps to like utilize the one that I said again before, the damage distribution on all your axes, so that you could buy more time and utilize all of it. So yeah, this one, and then there's a bit of like healing comps. Not a lot of people can actually utilize it, but it's still around. And like some aggressive comps with the curse cards. Yeah, and those like mid-range comps like this. So it's apparently called like mid-range comp, where you're somewhere between being aggressive and defensive at the same time. This one kind of loses to healing comps though, but would be very good against aggressive comps. So yeah, they're like comps like these. It's like the general one, I would say, but a lot of people right now is getting like good results from poisons. Poisons are very easy to play. Like I think since like day one, because I started the season with poison as well. I was constantly in the leaderboards, and I think I was able to stay in the top like 10 or 20 as well because of the poison comp. And then people just like started like buying it as well, I think. And there's like people, I mean the top 200 at least is getting flooded by poison style, and some other people like just win because like some of their like axis parts counter their mirrors or something like that. But yeah, the poison comps are very good right now. It's really nice that we actually discussed it as well in the past few weeks, because there's not really a nerf to it. And I also like ask the feedback team like about their opinion about, because if guys can see, for this like card, the scaly spoon, there's a limit to it, so that you can only use like this once. And I was asking the feedback team, what do you think about like removing it and just not putting the extra reflect percentage to that card. Instead, you just take the value of the shield into it, so that it's not a dead card once you like draw like two or three in like one turn. So yeah, that is the comp that is like very good right now, and this one as well. So for the adventure, I didn't really touch the adventure since the season started, but for those of you who actually haven't like started this yet, I think you can still use the comp that we discussed last time, which is this one. So you just have to use these two and get another like frontliner. So this is the back line, this is the mid line, and this is the front line. It doesn't think I think it doesn't really have to be this if you're just aiming to finish it without accomplishing like 21 stars. If you just really want to finish it, I think you could finish it with this. But if you want to finish it with like 21 stars, I think this like Axie is still like very good. Remember that you would want to get a shoal star and a Nemo in front for you to be able to like 21 stars is, and you need like the bird. Where's the bird version? So the other one has the bird version, where you would change this to a bird so that you have a taunt and a summon there as well. I just forgot where I put it. But yeah, this one, for those of you who doesn't have much axes, you can play the game with like two starter axes and play the adventure. I haven't confirmed that if you would be able to get the other like the other crafting materials from the adventure, but that's what I heard. But I didn't really touch it. So yeah. So as you can see, I'm not using any of these. It really differs from person to person, I would say. It's just that my plan is just to use everything when I reach this, so that I have like higher chances of utilizing this. That's how I see it. So yeah, that's the only difference that I could say right now compared to like alpha season. After that, I think it's almost the same, except for the like the point system, I would say, because I think right now it's not by 1 star, but instead of like they made it like 10 stars and 20 stars. I don't know why, but that's how they did it. And it's still the same. Like if your MMR is like higher compared to the other opponent, there's a chance that you lose like 20 stars, similar to like get losing like 2 stars in the alpha season, and you get like 10 stars each. I think normally when you win. So yeah, I don't think I have to like discuss to you the nerfs and the buffs in the previous like update, but most of the stuff that happened there is to actually try to nerf the healing comp and nerf the carrot comps. So the carrot comps is the one with like the plants with the roses, but those are still like viable comps in my opinion. It just matters in like very high elo or like high MMR games because it might not be able to be on par with the good teams anymore. But yeah, does anyone have any question with the start of the season for now so that I can like explain it? So if no, like I could show you some of the stuff that you might be able to face in the leaderboards or like in the arena right now. They changed some stuff a bit with the energy system. I think the previous one is one one two wait, can't remember it. They changed it to 1222, I think. Wait. 1222, if I'm not mistaken. 1222, 1223. Yeah. Before it was 1222, I think. I'm not really sure, but they changed something on it to give like a bit of a like advantage again to turn two players. So before, as I said, the win rate for turn one players is like 60% compared to 55-45 split in the alpha season. So that was during the off season. So they have to change it again. So the season zero is more of a trial again. So you don't really expect everything to be like perfect because there's also like bugs around, like especially the Silence Whisper, the Mavis dying from poison, and the Robin dying from poison. So during the season, there would still be like bug fixes, but there wouldn't be any balance updates anymore. That's what they promised for every season. They wouldn't do any balance like updates every mid season because that would ruin the market as well. So yeah, like for the axes that you would let's say play or buy at the first week, it's gonna be the same until you reach the fourth week. So the tier crafting that you can do wouldn't be wasted as well if you come to think about it. So the tier crafting that you would do like last off season is still the same as long as the balance update didn't hit it that much. So yeah. So right now I'm gonna like show you some of my games as well because this is the thing that I'm playing. And then the other one that I showed you, I just like created it a while ago. But I could show you the difference between this like poison comp and a mid range comp. So yeah, by the way, the amount of shards that you also get freely from the adventure is also adjusted right now. Like it's very little compared to the ones before. Also, if you guys wait, you might have played in the off season. So for those of you who played in the off season and has runes and charms, make sure that when you disenchant, so you click disenchant, so you can use your runes and charms, right? But you need to disenchant it to get like shards. Make sure to go to alpha season and then do the mass selection here because there would be there are some people that I saw who actually disenchanted everything including this ones. So these ones that you see here, which is like uncraftable, these are the free stuff. right? These are like free stuff. And if you mistakenly go into crafting and disenchant like all, you would be disenchanting the free ones and you wouldn't be able to get them anymore. So make sure that when you disenchant, go to maybe non-seasonal, or like, just to be sure, go to alpha and then mass selection here. And then yeah, just click confirm and then you're gonna see how much you can get. So that you can still like play with like runes and charms. The beauty of it though is that for those of you like who doesn't have much like SLP to play, you can still play with runes and charms at the start of the season, which is really really nice. Because like example for this, like these runes are like already good, especially for the first week. Even this charm. So like for example, like even if I'm using this, my team would already work even if I'm just like using leftover potions for everything. And this is a free charm and rune, right? There's like free here. So it just really depends if you get something like really nice. But most of us can just like play with the free stuff, which is really really nice, right? So don't be like disheartened that you see people who spend a lot and getting like good runes and charms. As long as your team can actually be played and you can win some games, it would be like good enough for you. Like who knows? Like at some point, maybe you craft like a free one without using any SLP, and you get like a mystic or an epic, and it would just change your game like drastically and might help you climb into like the high ranks. So yeah. By the way, if the difference between this stuff is that for those of you who craft without using SLP, it stays in the game and it wouldn't be used again anymore, like in the next season. Meanwhile, those that like craft with SLP, you can sell it in the market. You can't use it in the next season, I think, but you can still disenchant it for like a higher shard value compared to the ones that are here. So for those of you who really want to spend on like SLP, take into consideration that those are always like limited for the season, and it might be not like healthy for your like finances as well. But I mean, it's not fortunate that the price of SLP is low, but right now at least I can say that I can like use it without saying that, oh, that's like crazy amount of like SLP at least. So yeah, it's actually like more fun right now in my opinion. So yeah, let's get back to the comp that I feel like is very very good this season, especially for the first week. So especially for those of you who are like part of like the YGG's like scholarship before, as far as I know, YGG has a lot of like good like poison like axes. Like it might not be the best or like the one that I'm using right now with like multiple poison like cards, but it's still like good axes in my opinion. So yeah, for those of you who's like looking forward to it. And I think there's gonna be a lot of like carrot cactus comps as well. That's how I see it. After like looking in the like inventories and like the scholars for quite some time now. So yeah, we're just like playing the same like build. It's called a mirror match because it's almost the same, right? So we're just gonna do that. The goal of this like game right now is just to stack a lot of like poison to each other, and the one who uses the gecko eyes to remove the poison would be on an advantage, I would say, in this game. So yeah. Mm, my draw is kind of bad right now, as you can see, but we're just gonna use everything. So yeah, like The beauty of using a poison comp, that's why I said it's like one of the best like comps right now in the early season, is that it actually works without like expensive or like high rarity runes and charms. Like even like leftover potions, it could be on par with other comps. As you can see, my opponent has like runes and charms, right? I mean runes at least that are very very nice, but like it might be like very advantageous against me, but on some other comps, the leftover potion actually has an advantage too. So yeah. So the reason why his comp might be able to win against me is because of his mouth too, because his mouth counters poisons. But this one is still bugged. Like it should be countering the poisons, but right now it's still bugged. That's why they're gonna patch it tomorrow. So yep, just gonna play this. I'm not even like checking like the history anymore compared to other games, because when I face like a poison comp, it's really just a race who actually stocks like more poison and stuff. Unless I try to make sure I chomp him every time or something like that. So yeah, for now we're just gonna use this. So as you can see, it's still like a close match. Um, my mid line is just carrying the game because I have Gila, and in a mirror match, Gila is very very good. Also, if you guys don't know, they actually patched the thing with like before. If you die with poison, you can still draw cards, but they changed the layering of the program or the game where the poison kills first before you draw cards. So right now it's not a problem anymore for others, but before it could actually be utilized in such games. Or just gonna try to kill this guy. All right. If he double talks us, I think we lose. But if not, I think we might be able to win. All right, he can't double talk us anymore. Mm, all right, I think we can win if we get Aguila. We didn't get Aguila. All right, I think if I kill this guy, I poison him, and then I put like 10 stacks here, because this would be 87. So we can win by killing him with poison now. So in the late game of the poison team, it's very important for you to see how you can put poison on your opponent. So in that game, as you can see, I made sure that the green thorns like 10 poison stacks would actually go into the last Axie. So for example, like let me explain to you guys the card called green thorns. So green thorns is a card that actually applies like poison to random opponents, right? So it applies like 10 opponents on like 3 axes. So if you actually kill an axis and only one axis is remaining, you actually put all the poisons there, and that's what I did in that game. So instead of like using small frill and green thorns like before I kill the front, I make sure to kill the front first and filter all the poisons on one axis. And then I checked his HP to be 82, and I checked how much poison I can add, and that's like plus 13. So I just computed you know that the poison like takes like 3 times in terms of the damage, and you just multiply the poison takes there. And yeah, pretty fortunate that it was able to kill. So yeah, this is the poison comp. It was still lucky that we was able to win that. And yeah, so wait, let's try to find a game without a poison like opponent, so that you can see the reason why this would work in other comps. Math is real. Ah, why? Why? Everyone is just really playing poisons now. I wanted to show you guys the beauty of the ant card that we built for this comp, because not everyone's like playing like it. Like if you guys notice, I still try to apply the basics that I shared on stream, or like not in the previous boot camps, where we use damage distribution. So we just bring this back again. So there's a damage distribution like concept in this team, because Ant Tail actually taunts the opponent for 4 turns. That's why I got these. So you can offer like Cattail, and Cactus and Egg Bomb to do it. And I was able to see this in the market, so I sniped it, and I think we're the only ones using it right now. And I sent it to some of other teammates in YGG so that they can also try it. Oh, black screen again. Sorry. Is it still black screen, guys? Oh, wait, what's happening? Wait, how do I fix this? Wait. Hmm. Huh. Is it still black screen now? I thought it was real. I'm actually using like a widescreen monitor, that's why. If I click end turn, maybe it goes black screen. Is it black screen now? I hope it's not. Mhm. To look for more poisons here. Alright, this one is good. So as you can see, like playing poisons is like, it might look very easy to be honest, but I'm out of English words. But if you're facing like aggro comps, choosing between defending and like shielding or like healing, it's gonna be very important. I just can't show it right now. Hmm. I don't usually shield against poisons. Get your pocket of English and ask some questions. But if you guys have questions for like a poisons, like right now you can ask. Are you going to build a budget team for us? Like in terms of like poison, I can show you a budget comp that I built before. Not really a super budget, but during the off season, because I was trying to figure out like um how would I start like how would I start playing a poison comp like in the start of the season, because not everyone can like buy it as well, right? So I bought like a plant for a very cheap price. Why didn't I get my gila? Wait. Game is already over before even we hit him. Anyways, I think we die here on the next. What other comps are good right now aside from poison team? Um, the carrot comp is still nice, and it's very cheap. So the carrot comp that I was talking is the one with the carrot cactus comp. Carrot cactus, egg bomb cactus, double Nemo build, or like not double Nemo, but double energy build, or like cottontail. So those are some stuff that you could try. The ones that could be played in the early season are those that are very balanced, you know? Like there are teams that would require like runes and charms for it to work, but at early season, having energy gain and damage distribution is very very much important. I was thinking for a build for our scholars. Yeah, I could at least like show it to you right now, right? So there is something like this that you can still use. So this is standard like anemone front. Like a normal anemone would actually work here, and then you can get like two like taunt here. So it doesn't matter if it's a plant or like a bird, but you can opt for a bird here as well. Basically, just another taunt. A normal bird would be a post fight bird. Yeah, something like this. So basically, you just want like double taunts. Lamb for mouth. Yeah, lamb could work. Goda could work. Risky fish could also work. Mm, yeah, those are good stuff. And then if you're planning to play this, I suggest you guys do not put like the bird at the back, especially if you have Mavis Eye, because if you're trying to build like comps, guys, make sure that the backliner, the backliner's cars are like cars that you would be able to use whatever happens, you know, when once you draw it. Like for example, like for this like Axie, any card that you draw after being banished. So at the end game, these two cards are most likely banished, right? Even this. So you keep on just like rotating these three cards. So those are the stuff that you can consider when building like teams. Like for example, if you actually like play this, you might be able to get this in the late game, which is kind of bad. Even this one, because these are very low valued cards in late game. So compared to the plant, this one is not like a good finisher, except for this like mouse. That's the only one that carries this late game. So yeah, that's how I would suggest you guys build comps. If you really want the most standard version that you could think of, you know, like this could work. And for those of you who has like beasts in their like scholarships as well, you can also offer that beast in front. But the requirement that I would say if you're planning to go that route is it's gonna be like tough in the earlier part, but once you
Online.
get
Eh,
but once you
todavía está. Disculpa.
once you get this beast rune, which is the pangolin scale, the beast would actually be better, even for the comp that I showed you a while ago. So like in terms of the runes and charms that you might want to get, these are the this is one of the best that you could get, guys. Like especially if you're, I would say, like let's say if your scholarship is really really tight, like you know, like you can cater everyone. If some of your like scholars actually gets this, I would suggest you guys give that like person a beast at least, because this one is a like top tier rune for its like rarity. It's only a rare rune, but once you get this, the comp just elevates like so much. So yeah, that's why I also want this, but I can't get this yet. Another one would be this one. So this one is also nice. Um, for like rare runes. So because we don't know what's gonna happen when the market opens up, right? And we don't know if you like maybe some of you guys have like top scholars as well that's also like trying to compete. So these are the stuff that you can watch out when the marketplace open if they actually sell it for cheap price. I'm just really not sure if that's gonna happen. So consider this one, pangolin scale. Consider shield leecher. So both of them would be very very good. This is not rare. This one is also good for a rare rune. And this one, miracle leaf. This one should be buff, but this one is so good. All right, for those of you who's planning to build a scholarship around like building like aquas, like double aquas, the I would say the best like starter comp right now, if you're really going for the budget meal, is to get like 2 rare runes of Hearty Warrior and 1 rare of Pangolin Scale. And then you put the Pangolin Scale in front, the Axie with that, and then 2 of these. So basically, you build around the defensive front and you build around 2 damage like Aquas in the mid and the back for just using rare runes. But yeah, some other people might be already like considering that. So in terms of the market, if someone is like planning to buy right here, just make sure to be fast because I think people would try to snag it if the price is really good. I just don't know how they would price it. And yeah, for those of you who see the Vino Master, I don't really suggest it to build around with. It's not easy. If you really want to like build around this, you need this is what I tell my teammates and other people. Make sure you have Yam and one other AoE card. If not, do not like stick with it because if you're playing it like me, this is actually not very very like efficient. At least use it on a Gila. But this would only be efficient if you get the other one, which is the poison touch. This one works well with each other with Gila. And another good like rare rune is actually last stand. So for a frontliner, your option would be double Hearty Warrior, backliner, midliner, and the front line would be a Pangolin Scale or a last stand. So if you guys remember, there was a time in Axie Infinity that there's a lot of like what do you call it, like BBP or BMP. So I'm assuming for those of you who have like scholarships as well, you might have a lot of like mechs and beasts, and like this time around, mechs and beasts are good frontliners. So this is a constant defensive like rune. Meanwhile, the mech last stand is like same like value, but you just get into like 1 round that you don't die unless he actually hits you, something like that. So yeah, the others are like hard to build. These are kind of hard to build, and dawns and dust, especially dust, are not like dawns are not like common anyways. But yeah, this one is very good, but you really have to get like good access with it. But for those of you who has like let's say like scholarships as well with like um um winghorn winghorn grass snake. Wait, let me show you an Axie that I sniped for that before they actually nerf it a bit. Because I was like planning it with one of my teammates. Um, is it this one? This one. I think this one. Wait, winghorn grass snake. Yeah, I think it's something like this. So I built it in like multi-hit. So the idea behind the one that I shared to you, wait, the idea that wait, it's not this one. Anyways, I'm gonna show it here. So the idea here is that you have like curse cards on your comp, and it actually gives you a lot of like extra damage. So if you guys are like built around like a lot of like grass snakes like axis before, grass snakes and multi-hit with it, like let's say winghorn, and you got like this rare rune, it could still work, you know. So that's not a wasted axie, I would say. You just have to like build around it. Maybe 2 curse rituals could work. I haven't really like tried it. Some of my friends tried it, and I have yet to hear from them if it's actually nice. But yeah, the idea is there in terms of building this comp. Yeah, that's probably how I would like build like comps if you actually built it around like scholarships as well, assuming that you build those like scholarships. Because at least for me, because I have like scholarship as well before, I have a lot of like ABP comps, like anemone comps, and the route that I would probably like take when I like decide to like rebuild it is just go that way. The same way that I actually shared to you guys in terms of building like anemone front, like cactus, bird, mid back, same stuff. And then if your like scholarship is really small and you can cater everyone, you then decide which axes to be distributed once you know which runes and charms they can get. A dark swoop mouth is not bad right now. Like this is a dark swoop mouth, right? But you can only like utilize it if you probably have two. Like dark swoop or little owl and nutcracker like works like almost the same way right now in Origins. So it's like once you use it, the damage is stacked, and that's how I built my mid range comp that I can show you later on. So right now, my goal is to actually make this alive and taunt in the back. That's the best case scenario for me. If that doesn't happen, I just stick with taunting with this guy. So we just try to make sure this guy lives for one more turn. But I don't think it would happen. But we're still gonna try. I think this guy would die soon. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't die. So as you can see, there's so much value that I get from leftover potion, even if it is just a common charm. I mean common rune. Especially if I have like good charms on my Axie. Like I have 374 I have 374 HP right now, and 4% of that is like 14 point like 70, or I basically heal by 14 HP every time. So it's really really good. Um so we just put more poison to our opponent, buy more time, and then shield this guy again. And hopefully on the next turn we get our ant and we taunt with this guy. So the best case scenario didn't happen for us, but it's still fine. And we would take damage on the mid, one damage card at least. So hopefully he uses the little piece on my mid and then I taunt. So little piece is like a vulnerable like thing. All right, best case scenario we get ant, which we didn't get. That's kind of cute. So right now we just try to damage our opponent. So the reason why I need to damage that is that most of the time, if I bottom deck my Gila, meaning bottom deck means like getting it at the last cycle of your deck, I have to use it because I don't have much damage anymore in this in this team. So kind of unfortunate scenario. I think we could live, hopefully, and then we distribute damage on this guy. All right, this one is pretty good, at least, because the little beast goes into here. We only lose here if he uses one more Nemo, which is very much possible because I've only seen like one Nemo. So if you are like counting cards, there might be a chance that happens. All right, so there's a bug right now, as I said a while ago. If you kill this guy with poison, the effect of Mavis goes throughout the game. So in order for us to not kill it with poison, we have to use like small frills so that it doesn't die. So this would take like 9 damage, as you can see. So it would be left with 1 HP and it's gonna die on its own this round. So for like inexperienced like players, if you actually use green thorns and you put like 4 poison in it and it dies from poison, it's gonna take effect the whole game. But for those of you who probably notice that, you can play around it. It's just like unfortunate, but because you shouldn't be playing around it, right? Because it's a bug. But you can't really do anything about it at this point. So there's a chance that we can still win. This guy dies with like three cards, and then we try to damage him here. So this guy would die on his own on the next turn, and then we're gonna do a 1v1. The only way for us to win this is probably if we get like a tiny turtle, which we already saw. But hopefully we don't die here yet. Because this is a pangolin, right? Pangolin is like tanky, but it deals like less damage. Unless uses Ronin. So we have to play defensive here, guys. We have to play very defensive. We don't have to damage him because we're hoping that we kill him on the next. Wait, what did he use? So he used three cards: Nutcracker, Dual Blade, Ronin. Nutcracker, Dual Blade, Ronin. So his only damage card is Little Piece and Goaded. That's only 120. And then you take do like 15. Wait, we won't die. I think we can damage him a bit. We won't die. And then we use this so that we don't draw it again. It's gonna banish now. So his maximum damage right now is 150. So we just need one damage card on the next. Alright. That is maximum damage. Because we checked the history, right? So wait, I'm not sure if you guys noticed it, but I checked the top right in that game. So in the top right, it says that the deck already reset, right? And I saw it's like 7. So 7 means that on the next one, he's gonna get like 5 cards from the same deck. That means he wouldn't be able to get the cards that he already used in his beast. That's why I said that there's only 2 damage cards left, and he already probably used like Goda. So the only card left with him is Dual Blade. His maximum damage is probably like 100, like 170 at most. So that's why we diverted our strategy to attacking once. So yeah, as you can see, the comp is really nice. Even if we didn't get our best case scenario for the game, it's still like favored in us. So yeah, poison comp is really nice. I'm gonna show you a mid-range comp, meaning a bit of like offensive and defensive comp that I actually created before we do the bootcamp. I'm not sure if it's really good. I just like theory crafted this like maybe 2 hours ago. So we're just gonna show it. So the way that I do it right now is that I just try to utilize the runes and charms that I get. So yeah. If you have like wait. Let me show you first. For those of you who's trying to build like budget poison. So for those of you who's planning to build like budget poisons, one frontliner that I could suggest that I bought before for like 0.02, I think, is this one. So basically, this is just a plant with a small frill and a yam. So basically, when I'm trying to like when I'm trying to build a comp, especially a poison comp, I just make sure I have like five. Like usually I say like 4 to 6, but I would say it should be like 5 or 6 like poison cards. So my goal is like have a single poison card every turn so that I can continuously like ramp up the poison on my opponent. So this is like very cheap frontliner that I bought before or snipe. As you can see, it's very defensive. Has healing, shield, poison, and then like an extra damage card here. It's very well rounded, very cheap as well, and I am like pretty sure that this actually is very common, like especially in V2. This is a normal like frontliner before. I think for the you can use this with the normal like scholar team before that is very strong in season 19. The double reptile or like RDP with Dry Spike, Reptile, and Dusk like Terminator, I think is very much used. So yeah, this is a very good frontliner. And then for your midliner and backliner, just make sure you probably add like 4 more like poison cards to build a poison comp. And then if you have like an Axie which has a taunt on it, just try to utilize it with a poison for damage distribution. So that all right, the thing is, if you actually like taunt when this guy is still alive, there might be rounds where you can still utilize your small fill and leaf bug or like poppy to actually heal back. And that is very important with damage distribution in games. Do you have a portion for this bootcamp where you build a team for marketplace right now, a budget one? Oh, we could do that if you guys are really interested. Um, the only like problem right now with the marketplace is that there's not much like Axies that are actually on the market because they reset the marketplace. If you guys don't know, that's why they're like Axies that I was planning to buy when I got the leaderboards rewards. But since they migrated everything to a new marketplace, I wasn't able to buy it because it's delisted already. So oh my god, this is my teammate. All right, this is my wait black screen. Is it still black screen right now? But yeah, this is our teammate Kosei. He's actually the one who secured the the AxieCon Phase 3 qualifiers yesterday. And yeah, this is another comp that we're trying to build around. I have a comp with this, but it's with my teammate, and I'm also breeding it. It's a leafy comp. So you stack leaves, and then you actually use leafy with like extra damage on it. All right, what do we do here? Heal Cupid. All right. Let me know if it's black screen right now. It might be. Still black screen? Oh, how do I make it like? Because I have to click my stuff. Wait. Hmm. What do we do? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I could taunt on this guy. I could taunt here and then summon my Mavis so that it's not hit by Leafy. Hopefully we utilize it because I might die this turn. The damage could be very high because you have 3 energy Robin and like leaf stacks. Screen is okay now. Black screen again. Ah, how do I fix this constantly? Just gonna try to click on the cards when his turn is over. All right, this would be very very hard for us because he was able to summon the axis. I mean the stuff that he wants. Uh, 1, 2, 3, sponge, sponge, dual blade, can sponge this guy. I'm just thinking if I should Nemo this guy. I don't think I need to. All right, can still win this, even if we summon all those stuff. Wait, it might be black screen again. Oof. Uy, 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 uy. He didn't hit my bird. That's why I emoted on him. Alright, what do we do here? We have one extra damage card. So in order for us to try to kill this, we just go full ham. Full ham here. Full ham. So we go for this one first. Damage it. We get the bubble. We use little owl, and then I think we could kill it with this one first. 94, and then just use wing horn for the damage here. All right. All right, we're gonna take one damage here, but he wouldn't be able to kill us because our rune is very good too. I don't think we kill him yet. Oh, he's dead. Anyways, yeah. That's because again is one of our teammates in YGG. He's just like trying to build that as well. He's trying to figure out which is the best like composition for that. But yeah, as you can see, this is a mid-range comp, and that means there are times that we defend and we have like win trading. No, 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 it's not win trading. We both want to win. The reason why we both want to win is because we both want to get shards to craft. So by the way, if you guys don't know, ever since I reached like level 5, so this unlocks in level 5, right? This 3, I think this 2, I think at least. This unlocks at level 7 as far as I remember. Ever since I just started like crafting this. So that is like that's why I was able to spend like 10,000 like SLP every day for the past few days just to like burn all my shards like smartly, I would say. But yeah, win trading. Want to make our captain look good. Anyways, all right, let's do like probably like one more game and see if the team is actually like nice. So yeah, um, I would really want to show you guys how to. All right, all right. Instead of like showing you a game, I'd rather show you how to snipe from the market or like buy comps. Uh, mm, wait, let me try if I can share my screen now. Your skins are back. All right, I'm trying to show you the marketplace right now. So yeah, I just like bought this a while ago. So yeah, how do I fix this? So yeah, I just bought this a while ago, as you can see. So like if you're trying to snipe the plan that I saw, I showed you a while ago, you can check it here. So Yam is a very good card right now. So these are the stuff that you would probably like look for the frontliner. Mm, not sure how much it is. Oh, what the heck? It's actually expensive now. Holy. Wait, I didn't know it's expensive now. I don't think it's a budget Axie anymore. I bought that for 0.02 and there was like 5 of it before. And then I asked my teammate to buy one and another friend. And then I don't know what happened. Maybe it's not like listed. Maybe it's just not listed at this point. But it's the idea. So the thing that you want is like small free and yeah, right? So when you're trying to snipe something, guys, it's like a consideration that you don't have to get the full set of those like cards. So you can actually just remove like one card, like let's say remove this, and something like this goes like you get like better options, right? And then you can also still remove this, and like so if you're doing it like this, or like with the poppy and the leaf bug, right? So when you're trying to use the market, one of the ways that I mean thing that other people do not do, screen on and off. Oh shit. Wait. Can you actually see it now, guys? Can you see right now my screen? Is it like
Oh, went
visible?
black. It's going
When?
black sometimes.
Hmm.
You're good now.
Oh, if I click something, I think it goes back. So yeah. Let me give you a tip when you're trying to get something off the market. For those of you who's trying to like buy budget stuff. So when you're trying to buy off the market, so like let's say I'm just gonna show all the axes. I mean the parts that I go. Maybe the black screen would come out again. So this is the axis that I have, right? So this is the axis that I have. This is the axis that I have. If you are trying to buy something from the market, one trick that you could actually do is to like make sure to click this one so that you don't see the card anymore. So like let's remove this first. Actually, just remove this first. It's a better idea. And then, so if you have like these four cards, right? Not sure if you've seen it. You just have to click like this one so that you have better choices. So as you can see, it has like better choices right now. So you can compare this on the other option that you bring this back and then you close this again so that it's like filtered. So this is the other option that you can see. So from this, you can see that there's more option in this like side. So then you check like which axis like would you say that oh this one is like fine I can still like use this. That's how you try to like snipe not really the best axes but the cheaper axes available in the market. Like you prioritize the cards first. Like let's say you prioritize like small frill and yam, right? And then afterwards you try to put the next like good cards on it, like this the third and the fourth. Or like for example in this scenario, I rank like Papi and like Leaf Bug in almost the same rank. And then for you to like find which one has better like options, just try to on and off so that it doesn't look at that card anymore on the other side. That's how I go into the market when like building stuff. So a while ago, let me show you like another one that I did. I bought this bird. Uh, so I bought this bird, the feather bird. This is just an example. I'm not sure if it's a black screen right now. So this is my filter a while ago. Because I am trying to build something and it's not cheap, I think. So this was my filter a while ago, guys. I'm not sure if you can see it. So this was my filter a while ago, right? As you can see, this is the idea in my head when I was theory crafting. So I can share to you how I somehow theory craft as well. So these are the main cards that I was looking for a while ago. In order for me to find like a good actor with this, sometimes like I check in the others and go to like not for sale and see if one of my friends like own it or maybe YGG owns it and I can borrow it as well. So I consider that too. And afterwards, if I really want to buy up the market, this is what I do. So as you can see, there are like one part which is winghorn, and then I could probably like choose two only here. This is the same idea when you're trying to build like triple knot. So what I do here is I click like close here. So as you can see, these are the options that I have for this. If I close that I part, right? There's a lot here. But when I actually go into the other one, like here, look at this. There's only like three of it. So this means that this is a more like rare version. Like the eye is a very rare version, as you can see. When I'm trying to like see if it's also like breathable or not. And then when we check the last one here, you know that this might be the rarest. Like this part is the rarest. So the ears is the most common, and next is the mouth, and this is the rarest, the little owl. So that's how I try to build comps. And then a while ago, when I was trying to build this, I just went for the cheapest one, which is this one, right? And then like when I was like choosing which stuff I want, so I make the this three is like the best cards that I would want to get from that Axie, right? The next one would be to figure out what is the next best parts that you would want. So I have ears, I have mouth, and I have like horn here, right? So next part that I would probably want is like the least option or like the least priority that I have here is the eyes. Because for the eyes, I'd probably get a summon or like a zero cost card. So my next important part would be the back and the tail. So my option a while ago was the one that I bought and actually this one, I think. Yeah. So like I just like chose between um so basically I chose between last one for tail, last one, what is my back? Last one and Cupid versus blackmail and post fight. So wait. Just gonna show you how I compare stuff. So this is the Axie that I bought, right? This is 4.018, I think, and this is 4.015. So like when I was like evaluating, oh, which one is like better? And they have the same stuff except for these two. So I tried to weigh stuff like, oh, like post fight has higher damage, which is very good for my comp, as you can see, right? Like base damage is very, very high. But like when I compare the back part, this one has Cupid, which is a very like I would say stable card compared to like a blackmail, which I think is not very stable. I went for the other one because I don't really prefer this being played alone. So that's how I actually like build like or like decide which ones to buy. Like you see which ones like available in the market and you try to weigh like each part. Like you might not get the best option. Like as I said, I was looking for a triple like owl part, but it's so rare that I can't like find it anymore. That's why I opted for like a two part only. And then I just look for like something else. So you can also like consider that when you're trying to buy stuff. Same idea on how we tried to look for the plant a while ago. And then for the mid liner and the back liner for the poison comps guys, the filter that I would suggest you like find like it's the easiest one that you could do is just go for small frill and green thorns. So this is an option that you can go and then see if there's a like two part of this that could actually be worked with. Like you decide which axis is actually decent when buying stuff from this. But poison comes right now are like pretty expensive, I would say, because it's like supply and demand, and the demand is like high, but the supply is only from people who's like breeding it right now. Like I probably know like two breeders that I always like ask with this, and they're also like trying to control the market, and it's part of the market game, I would say. So yeah, poison comps are kind of expensive right now, like compared to the time that I was actually building it before, because I was one of the first few people who actually explored this too, and the price is even if it's like very not like cheap before, it's still cheaper compared to what it is right now. But yeah, hopefully you learned something from that like marketplace like thing. At least how I buy and build stuff. And yeah, like if you're like at least for me, if I'm trying to build something, I make sure that if I buy something, like maybe you have already a team in mind, unless you feel like that specific axis is like very very rare that you can find it on something else that you have to buy it during that time. But usually when I try to buy something, I have to make sure that I can make a team out of it first. So yeah. Do you guys have any questions with like the start of season or like building comps or like buying axes right now? And for those of you who's also like trying to shift from like V2 scholarships to Origins like scholarship, like at least like some suggestions that you would want to hear from building comps, depending on the Axie teams that you have for V2, because some of it might not be very viable for Origins. Any like questions before we um wrap up? I would say. Mhm. Are we good? No questions? No questions? Type faster. Oh, someone is typing. Yeah. See if there's a question. I want to build a team that has a triple knot on the back line. What do you think can be my mid lane and front? For your mid lane and front, I would say it's almost the same on the idea that we have. You can always like try it because the thing with all right when you are playing with a triple knot, right? Your most important like play style is to always make sure that you play a knot whenever you see it. So other people, the way they play triple knot is they make sure that there's a good amount of like banished cards on the team. Let's say like two banished cards per Axie, so that the chance of you like getting not is very like fast. So if you ask me, the mid liner that I would get for a backline beast would probably be a bird, because I would want to like summon a Mavis to like play with it. Because the damage of a backline beast is very high, if you guys don't know. Especially with the nut, as long as it stacks fast. So same concept. Get a taunt at the mid. You need a taunt at the mid for you to be able to utilize it. Especially in like the early part. So you can opt for like not using any taunt at the mid. If there's a time that you get like a tanky front would be the pangolin one that we talked a while ago, or like an endless rune, or probably a shield leecher as well. But yeah, those two, the pangolin scale and the endless rune. If you have that in your front, you can opt to play like let's say a Nemo Aqua at the mid. Like yeah, just a normal Nemo Aqua, and it would be like fine. But if you don't have a tanky front, make sure, like, highly suggest getting a taunt at the mid. Also, you need to make sure that if you're playing triple not beast, you have to make sure you have an energy gain, at least one. If you don't have an energy gain, the tempo of your game would be very slow. Meaning you would realize that you might lose games, and the reason why you lose games is because you lack one energy. Like one damage card HP left on your opponent. Or like one or two. Something like that. Mhm. Okay, sir, I'll know that thing. Yeah, so those are the budget options, by the way, guys. The budget options would always be to get a cactus or egg bomb at the mid, and then one other like axie that I have is the bird that I have as well. Wait, let me search it. I have a bird with Nemo because I was trying to build a triple like something like this. See, like this takes both of it, right? I have an egg bomb here. Wait, I'm not sure if you can see it. I have an egg bomb here, and I also have a Nemo. So same concept. Like you have a cactus and you have a carrot. This one I have an egg bomb, I have a Nemo. Same idea. And then I have the Mavis for extra like play if there's no like for example the advantage of having a Mavis is that for like early start of the games where not everyone has a very like well built team. Some other teams you wouldn't build any like teams that can access like any Axie, like let's say Axis, Scarab, or like AoE like Kotaro, something like that. The one that has no access to like summons at the back. So like Mavis is very good when you're trying to build something like of a starter team. When you're starting with like the lowest like MMR, like the egg, I think, because you can always utilize Mavis. And the thing with Mavis and like Cottontail or Nemo is that there might be rounds where you can just like heal your Mavis with Nemo or Cottontail. Knowing the lineups of YG scholars in V2, what can you suggest a good line up for them in case you know some common lineup we release for them for V2? I'm not really like very sure if the lineups that I saw before was the lineups that you do. I just base it on the fact that in YG's like inventory before, there's a lot of like plants, birds, I think, plant, bird, beast, and aqua. But I know like I think YGG has the route of going into reptiles before because I was actually able to look for like crazy reptiles with YGG. AAP, ABP, yeah, something like that, something like that. So that's the reason why I feel like YGG can build around like double aquas at some point. And then I would really suggest like since there's a lot of like plants and most of them would probably be like carrot plants. Like you can just like build the one that I shared a while ago with going for a midline bird, backline plant, and a front aqua. So the idea behind is that you just remove the taunt in front and put the taunt in the mid and the back. And I think most like YGG like teams before can be like readjusted to that like team in the next ones. Yeah. So like beasts right now, it's beasts are not bad. It's just that I feel like they're very rune dependent. Or like at least if you plan to play it, you're just gonna have to play it at the back unless you have a pangolin skill. So yeah. Plant, bird, and aqua. Yeah. Basically build around the concept of having two taunts. So make sure that if you have that idea, um you have like two taunts. Yeah. Like something in front is not necessarily an aqua. Like the front would probably be the least important like part of the team if you're building around the two taunt comps. Because most of the time the front can just like die immediately. Like the reason why some comps are very like hard to utilize is that if there's a comp that is built around having two Nemos, right? And the other Nemo is in front, the tempo of that comp actually dies if the team doesn't utilize the Nemo in front. That's why having double ton is very important, especially if you have like an energy gain in front because you try to utilize that energy gain most of the time. I'm thinking about Hollow. Hollow isn't bad. It's like um at the start of the season, Hollow can actually work because not a lot of cards are like higher than 75 damage. Like a Hollow is like 75 damage if I'm not mistaken, right? That means it's a two card summon. So it might help you just take like one damage on your Axie if you actually summon that, assuming that your Hollow is probably on the mid or in the back. So it's another way of taunting that you could utilize for like scholars, I would say, or like new starter teams. So it's also nice. It buys you one round. Same concept, same concept. If you don't have like a good amount of like taunt axes in your inventory, you could opt for that. Just have to remember that once you use a hollow, your axie takes damage as well. But if it's not your front, it's still fine. Oh, yep. I have more questions, guys. Any taunt cards? I know Egg Bomb and Hollow. There's Cattail and Cactus. So if you guys have to explore something, I would always suggest that this is my favorite place when I am awake at like 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. I always like search this. You can always use this one to utilize this. Like for example, you go to the cards, you type here, just type taunt. These are all the taunt cards in the game, as you can see. So Ant taunts you for like 4 turns. Same idea with Cattail. Only difference is that Ant is more defensive. Cattail is like an offensive, and both of them are tails, as you can see. And then both of these are horn. Same concept. Actually, it's just like more free of a card because you don't have to use it initial. And then this one applies onto your opponent. Same with Shrimp, but Shrimp has less damage, but it also applies onto yourself. So these are the taunt cards in the game. And there's another taunt that you could use, but it's a charm from the reptile, as you can see. But it's not easy to get. So those are the taunts in the game that you can always utilize. And you can also add the hollow, add the hollow to it. So you can always like consider this because maybe let's say you have, I don't know, maybe you have like an Axie from your inventory before the shrimp, because there are people who built early during the early times the shrimp with garish worm, right? I remember that when I was still early in the game, people are playing the small fill, I mean the leaf bug yam plant with Sirius. The midliner is a shrimp garish, and the backliner is I think a dusk. So I don't know, maybe some of you has that as well. And maybe you can utilize the shrimp like harder to do a taunt in some of your axes. The only difference with getting a taunt using a shrimp is that this is a tail part. Same with ant and same with cattail. The problem with that is that most of the energy gain cards is actually in the tail, such as like carrots, Nemo, cattail. So if you're actually using ant and cattail in that comp, you kind of remove those energy cards already, unless you're trying to put them on another axis, which is your front. So yeah, you can consider that. Like let's say you have the idea that I was doing a while ago where you put the carrot plant at the back, the Nemo Aqua in front, and since the midliner that we're trying to consider a while ago is a bird with an egg bomb, you can opt to put like a cattle or ant there instead. Since initially we don't really have an energy gain on that, except that we have a Mavis. So it's still fine. That's why the comp that I showed to you a while ago with like a double like plant and a frontline anemone is really really like balanced. Disable Sword, Thermi, and Beefinator's builds, are they still like good in V3? Yeah, it's still good. So one other option that you could do is wait, let me try to go back to my game. It might be black screen first. So I'm gonna try to build something that you might want to consider as well. Um, all right. So we head back into the game. I'm just gonna show you an Axie. Wait. Black screen. Wait. Let me just try to show you something here, real quick. I think I have a Disablesor. So something like this. So yeah, maybe the Disablesors that you guys have um has this like card sets as well, which is the Chomp, the Hotbot, and the Greathorns. These are like very very good cards for like starter teams as well. So these three cards are like high like utilities as well, right? And maybe you have Chump and Kesha. You know what you could do? It's just to try build like triple disable sword teams. And it could still like probably work. I'm not really sure because I haven't like really played it. But thinking about it, with the amount of like utilities that you have there, maybe it could work. Or better yet, get a taunt again at the back, and it might be like good for you. So yeah, do this and then put another taunt at the back, like maybe a cactus carrot or like an egg bomb again. So you can consider that if you have a lot of disablers too. All right. I just like faced someone with double disablers, so that's why I have the idea of it as well. And that is already in high MMR. It's just like not common to see like small field green thorns on most of them, but most likely the green thorns is there. Because I remember most of these like comps or the disabled source has green thorns before. Alright. You guys have more questions? What questions or DC will ask? Yeah, I think the I was able to share you guys what you could at least do in the early season right now. Because the meta would still like shift as the season goes on. But remember that all the axes, all the team comps that people are playing right now would be always like viable when you start as a season or a team or a game. Or like even if like you play in the second week or in the third week and you start with the comps that I actually showed you, it's still fine. Reason behind it is that most of the people who probably are already like playing beforehand, like in the first week with those comps, are already like in higher MMRs, and you probably wouldn't be like facing them anymore. So as like starters, and you guys would be just like net pegging or like copying what they did, it's still gonna work for you, like most of the time, because those people who got stuck in a certain like MMR, like most likely if they're like didn't change that much or didn't get any like good runes and charms until that point, they're still gonna be there. So that's the way that I see it. So yeah. Any more? Any more questions? All right. I guess that's it. That's it for this bootcamp's time. Did you already eat? Yeah, yeah. I ate my breakfast. I just woke up like a while ago. I finished the qualifiers yesterday. I finished 10-3 guys for the AxieCon qualifiers. Unfortunately, we're still like waiting for the results before we head over to like the phase 3. I think because they're only getting like top 16 for that qualifiers, and I'm in a tiebreaker now. I might be like top 20 or like something like that. So tough, 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 but still did our best. And like three of our teammates are already secured. Two of us are like pending right now. But yeah, hope you guys learned something from today's bootcamp. And yeah, if there's another bootcamp for me, I hope to see you guys again there. And if you guys have any question, make sure that you just message me in Discord or on my Facebook page, or relay it to someone from like YGG and they can ask me as well. So yeah. Thank you everyone. Good night, good night, good night. Maybe Sil would say something before he ends it. Your mic is broken. Alright, anyways, goodbye guys. See you on the next one. Cheers, cheers, cheers.